All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call to order the Bella Vista City Council meeting for December 13th of 2021. You will probably have noticed pretty immediately that I am not the Mayor Peter Christie, but I am Doug Fowler, Mayor Pro Tem. Peter got in touch with me early this morning, and evidently he has some pretty severe pain taking place in his neck that's affecting the movement of his head and his shoulders. So he asked if I would sit in and run the meeting tonight, and I said I would certainly be happy to. I certainly may not be as smooth as he is, as he does it. He's been doing it, for the last 7 years now, but I think if we'll all stick together, we'll get through this just fine. So with that, I'd like to ask you to join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America. Need it.
We'll do a roll call of council. Councilmember Wozniak.
Here.
Flynn.
Here.
Fowler.
Here.
Burke.
Present.
Wilms.
Here.
Snow.
Here.
All present.
Okay, so we're going to start with citizen input. Please be advised that each resident is limited to 3 minutes. Council will reply once everyone has spoken, and this is going to be limited to comments for the city council members, and it's not a discussion period, okay? So if you will come, when you come forward, please state your name, your address, and your topic. We'll start with Kevin Dooley.
Good evening, everyone. Kevin Dooley, 122 Lester Drive. I recently attended the Freedom of Information Symposium in Little Rock, and while I was there, I got a couple hundred of these FLIA workbooks. I have enough for everyone on the council, everyone who works for the city, everyone who's in the gallery, so please feel free to take as many as you want. I have an entire box and I don't need all of them, so thank you.
All right. All right, thank you. Okay, Jan Hoffner.
Good evening. My name is Jan Hoffner, and I live at 7 Fairway Drive in Brittany Courts, where we have reached a saturation point of non-owner occupants and investor owners. This includes both casual and professional landlords. As an owner-occupant, I want to speak about the short and long-term effects of this situation. I want to thank Jerry Snow for listening to these concerns and for encouraging me to share them tonight, and I want to thank you for your time. Number one, non-owner occupied properties are less likely to be maintained, despite existing city or POA rules. This includes failure to paint exteriors even if bare wood is apparent. Profit drives decisions about home improvements for these investor owners. In townhomes that share a common wall, like mine, the presence of mold, lack of pest control, or lack of termite inspections, frozen pipes, or the lack of a working smoke alarm would certainly affect all attached units. Furthermore, the failure of the investor owner to respond in a timely or appropriate manner affects all of the attached units. Property issues are less likely to be reported to the owner for repair or maintenance, since the tenants may be there for as little as a weekend. Number two, short and long-term tenants of non-owner occupied properties are less likely to know or to adhere to the existing city or POA rules. This is evidenced by unleashed dogs, bicycles and dogs on the golf course, what vehicles are present, and where they are parked, etc., etc. Number three, excuse me. Investor ownership increases neighborhood exposure to crime. There is an impression that the unit is empty, evidenced by trash cans sitting outside of the garage all week long that are not put out for pickup from week to week. The driveways and the walks are unkept and unswept. Burned out streetlights are not being reported for replacement. There are fewer owner occupants to notice and to report any unusual activity or crimes in progress. Number 4, investor ownership results in increased noise in the neighborhood. This is even more likely if there are no occupancy limits set by the owner, such as on a short-term rental. Most renters bring multiple vehicles. If a property doesn't allow pets, the short-term renter will keep them in the garage, resulting in excessive noise from barking. Excessive noise on decks by short-term issues is another issue. You know, these people are coming on vacation, if you will, and kind of have the vacation mindset, I would say.
Jan, you've reached your 3 minutes, or are you just about through all your points?
I am just about through. Okay, I'll go fast.
Wrap it up quick,
If
please.
that's all right with you guys.
Just
Okay.
wrap it up quick,
Investor ownership results in reduced participation and involvement that might otherwise be found in a neighborhood. There's an unwillingness of tenants to be involved because it is temporary residence. Number 6, Bella Vista's national reputation will be affected. Excessive numbers of non-owner occupied properties on a street will result long-term in lack of owner support for improvements to the city or the POA, since their interests are in profits rather than enhancing or promoting Bella Vista's image, infrastructure, fire and law enforcement agencies, schools, etc. These are specific concerns, just 3 of them, to short-term renters. In Bella Vista, short-term rentals are substituting for a traditional hotel, but they are not regulated in any way. Zoning and occupancy standards and safety inspections should be implemented. Contributions to local economy by short-term rentals are limited. For example, lodgers are less likely to patronize restaurants since they have access to a kitchen. Lodgers who utilize our amenities are not significantly contributing to the local economy. And last, as more short-term short-term units become available to lodging customers, there are potentially fewer housing units available to owner-occupied homes in Bella Vista. I believe that long-term this will affect our community's stability and our growth. In closing, it seems appropriate to address these issues. A cap on the percentage of these owners per street and per neighborhood would be beneficial for Bella Vista. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you, Jan. Anyone reply, Larry?
Ms. Heffner,
Yes.
could we ask you to send a copy of that to our city clerk and he could distribute it to the council
Okay.
members so that we would have a full benefit of your comments tonight?
Okay, I left one with Mr. Snow,
I got a copy.
Okay, all right.
and
We're-
I
we're
can
good.
leave my copy,
We're
that's
good.
all right?
Oh, that would be
All right,
fine.
okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Anyone else? Because I'm going to respond if we're done with the rest of the council. Yeah, Jan, I'd just like for you to know, and other residents of the city, we realize and understand that this is, a topic of conversation with many residents, across Bella Vista, and we know that it's an issue. And it's an issue we don't want to blow up on us. And we're addressing it as you speak tonight. We've already had, just FYI, we've already had 2 meetings in moving forward on writing a short-term rental ordinance. Just so you know, it takes a lot of study. It takes a lot of time. There are a lot of different points to think through. There are many different short-term rental ordinances across the United States, and they're mostly crafted for, each individual city based upon, how they're assembled, I guess maybe you would say. But we are working on it. Spent 2 hours last Wednesday or Thursday. I have another meeting scheduled for January So I guess the net of it is, we're working diligently to put something together and address the situation.
Assured me that was being worked on. But I also wanted you to know from an
Yeah.
owner who lives on a street that is now only 30%.
Okay, man, I apologize, but this isn't, we can't have a discussion, but I just wanted to let you know that we're working on it, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, that's all.
That's it?
All right, moving along. Approval of minutes. Has everyone had the chance to read the minutes? Anyone have any concerns, changes that they'd like to address?
Move to be approved.
All right. Jerry Snow.
Second.
Jerry Snow moved to approve, and John Flynn to second.
Okay, roll call vote. Councilmember Snow,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Burke,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Wozniak,
Yes.
carried 6-0.
Okay, monthly financial reports for September of 2021. They were distributed earlier today. I hope everyone had a chance to look through them. Does anyone have any comments, any feedback? John?
The only comment I have is I noticed both this, and there's been some talk about this in the past. Happily, both the city income tax and the county, or city sales tax and county sales tax is up almost 20%. Both of them are almost 20%. Versus 2020 versus 2021.
Okay. Yeah, just a couple comments from me. I had a chance to, to go through it today. First to Karen, our new Director of Finance. Pardon me?
Kim.
Oh, Kim, I'm sorry, Kim. Thanks for adding the city and the county breakdown. I appreciate it, because I think that's something a couple of us were going to address and ask that you do, and you did it on, and we appreciate that. You added the county effect of our percentage being lowered, to what we're going to be receiving, from 11.9 to 10.6%, to kind of help us see what that's going to mean to us. And as quickly as Northwest Arkansas is growing in revenue, it appears that it still could affect us significantly on a month-to-month basis. From what I saw, it could be $50,000 to $100,000, and that's really important to know as we look forward. And you added turnback fee collections that have taken place so far year to date. And over the 3 months we've been collecting, we're about at $100,000 right now. So that's not an insignificant amount of money. And I appreciate that view, because we talked about all those things at the Monday work session last week. Just in general, for residents of the city to know, our general revenue is up about $2 million year to date versus prior year. And that's across about every measure. That's not just attributed to sales tax from the city and the state, but it's ambulance revenue, property taxes, et cetera. So, so we have real healthy taxes coming in to help us fund our city. And our expenditures so far year to date, we're about $1.1 million year to date under budget. And I excluded the capital projects from that because, that's kind of a moving target. We don't really know where that's going to land. More than likely, we'll probably be under budget on that as well, because we probably won't spend everything. But the net of it is we're in a very healthy position as far as the city is concerned financially. Okay, I would like to entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read all proposed ordinance and resolutions on the agenda by title only.
Do we need to approve the financial report?
No.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Flynn moved to approved, and Larry second.
Okay, roll call vote. Councilmember Flynn,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Burke,
Yes.
Wozniak,
Yes.
Snow,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
carried 6-0.
Okay, we're moving on to old business. This will be the second reading of an ordinance approving the vacation of drainage easement at 2 Reardon Road pursuant to Section 107-37 of the Bella Vista Code upon conditions. I don't know if we need to have any discussion about this, but upon the applicant has a responsibility for turning some paperwork back into the city addressing the specifics of what it is that they are requesting to be done. And we thought that would be done, that would have been submitted before now, and it hasn't shown up yet. So we're simply, unless somebody has any questions about the vacation, we're going to simply move this to the third and final during the month of January. Larry?
I guess the only comment I have is I'd like the minutes for tonight to show that when we discussed this at our last meeting, the agent from Crafton Tull, who was here to represent, Barry Williams from Crafton Tull was here to represent the work on the project and the easement documents. He explained that the reason that we need to do the new easement and vacate the old one was because when Casey's site was developed, they failed to prepare the appropriate utility easement for drainage because of the pipe they installed at that time. So it was a lack of oversight by the city, in essence, for not catching that or not and identifying that and requiring that an additional new easement be prepared to address the actual location of the physical pipe that was installed. So we're trying to catch up on something that happened many years ago.
Okay, anyone else? All right, moving on to new business. Resolution 2021 resolution, or 2021 resolution, is in there a couple times. Adopting a city budget for the city of Bella Vista for the calendar year 2022, appropriating money for each item of expenditure and for other purposes. I think I'm gonna start before I open up the floor. I'd just like to give a very general overview, very quick, down and dirty. So as far as the general operating expenditures, we're expecting revenue for 2022 to be in the range of $17.5 million. Our general operating expenditures were expected to be about $17.2 million. So we're expecting revenues around $300,000 greater than what our operating expenses are going to be to date. Just from a personal perspective, I think probably our revenue projections might be a little low versus what we will actually realize. I think it's probably prudent in today's environment to be a little bit cautious. First of all, we have the county contribution for Bella Vista that has been taken down. I know that's going to impact our revenue from a county perspective. And then just kind of state of economy, just because of the inflation that's taken place, et cetera. You never know what's going to unfold in front of you, and you certainly don't want to lean out too far over your skis and expect that revenue is going to come in that in fact may not. So that's general operating expenditures. Our street fund revenue, we're projecting about $3 million into the city for 2022. With expenditures of $3.9 million, and so that's an underfund of about $938,000. But this is something that we experience every year, and generally what happens with these shortfalls in expenditures for the street department is we fund that from our general revenue. Typically, we fund our city, 100%, assuming all departments are going to stay full of headcount, that they're going to spend everything they projected that they're going to on operating expenses. The 5 years since I've been here, that has not happened yet. So we generally have, an overage of revenue versus expenditures every year. And on another note, even if that would not happen, we have a pretty healthy reserve, so we're always able to fund that street fund sufficiently. And I think the residents of Bella Vista, I think for a majority, really appreciate the state of our streets and how the city's been able to improve and maintain them. Just a couple notes as far as highlights, if you will. For 2022, our city, of course, the help of our HR director, we experienced no medical insurance increases. Dental insurance was no increase either. Workman's compensation, we did have an increase of $27,000 there. And our debt service actually decreased from $355,000 to $98,000 due to a payoff of equipment loan. And I'm not going to give any numbers because I don't think anybody would probably want to retain them anyway. But just for what it's worth, fire continues to be the greatest expense to the residents of Bella Vista. But I'll say it's a very outstanding fire department. I've never watched them actually on a fire myself, but I have watched them at a residence, and my next door neighbor had to call on them for help. And neighbor called me first, and then I came over, and I was able to watch our EMTs, our ambulance service, and it was quite outstanding. I was really impressed. So our emergency services in Bella Vista, I think, are next to none. The police department is our number 2 expenditure. Once again, very professional, very well staffed, very well equipped, and I'm really glad they're here. Our third greatest expense is our community development department, and I work with these people quite often. As a matter of fact, I'm working with them right now on the short-term rental ordinance, and I got to say that that we have some outstanding people there. So those are our 3 largest departments that we have to fund every year. So again, that was just a quick overview from me. If anyone has any comments as to the city budget that's been proposed, or any objections, any changes they'd like to make, now's the time to do it.
Mr. Fowler.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Fowler.
Well,
I just would add also that all of this is a matter of the public record, and I agree completely with your summary of it, and I thought you did a great job kind of hitting the high points. But if somebody is interested in the details of it, they can approach City Hall and can get a copy of our budget. It's all part of the public record, so every detail is available should somebody be so interested.
Okay, duly noted.
Motion to approve again. Second.
All right, we got a motion to approve by Mr. Wozniak, and a second by Mr. Wilms.
All right, roll call vote. Councilmember Snow,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Wozniak,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
Burke,
Yes.
carried 6-0.
Okay. Our third item on the agenda tonight, resolution authorizing budgetary funding transfers between departments in the 2021 annual city budget. This is just a resolution that we have to approve every year in case we have to transfer funds between different departments, so everything can balance out and we can close the books. Typically, we really don't have to do anything. This year, we might have one item that we have to address, and from what I understand, the library, the HVAC system went down, and we are going to need to replace that. And the cost estimate on that is about $26K. So we may have to do something, in the form of moving some money around this year. But other than that, I'm not aware of anything else. So that's it on that. If anybody, again, has any questions or comments, Ms. Snow?
I was under the impression the library building and everything was still owned by the foundation. Is that not correct?
It is. It is. And part of our lease agreement requires us to do all maintenance and upkeep,
Okay,
so that burden falls to us to take care of that.
good, understand.
Motion
Okay.
to approve. Second.
Mr. Wozniak made the motion to approve. Mr. Wilms, second.
All right, roll call vote again. Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
Snow,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Wozniak,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
carried 6-0.
Okay, so just briefly before next meetings and announcements, I would just say as I was driving over here this evening, I'd like to comment on what a beautiful night
Yeah.
it is. The skies are crystal clear. It is 49 degrees. Venus is on the horizon. The Christmas lights can be seen all through the defoliaged trees. And I'd just like to say thank you to everyone that puts the Christmas lights up for the enjoyment of the residents at large. It was just a really, really nice night to be thankful and grateful for being a resident of Bella Vista.
Agreed. Second.
Oh, second.
Yes, Larry, real quick, Larry, yeah?
We're done, right?
Yes, well, I got meetings and announcements I have to read, but.
Okay, I've got a couple of things.
Okay.
One, I'd like to acknowledge Jeff Wetzel and his staff at B-List Burgers. Over Thanksgiving, they, along with the Knights of Columbus, which is a fraternal organization of St. Bernard's Church, delivered dinners to veterans at that time. The second thing is I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Bella Vista Community Church for their commitment for improving residential and our residents' exposure and opportunities to enjoy local group performances. They supported the Bella Vista community has a concert band, and they performed at the Bella Vista Community Church on Saturday. The Bella Vista Men's Chorus performed there on Sunday afternoon, allowing entertainment and exposure to some culture by our members and residents. Good concert on both parts. I'd like to thank all of them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Larry. Very appropriate. Okay, meetings and announcements. The next city council work session will be Tuesday, January the 18th at 5:30 p.m. in the Bella Vista courtroom. The next regular meeting of the city council will be Monday, December the 20th. Whoa, that's a wrong date there. January the 24th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. in the Bella Vista courtroom. Planning Commission work session will be, again, December 30th. Is that right?
The work session has been canceled with planning commission. They canceled that, so the December 30th will not be taken.
Okay, so there will be no Planning Commission work session on December the 30th of 2021. Planning Commission regular meeting, so the work session was not rescheduled. They're just going to have a work session. Okay. Planning Commission regular meeting will be January the 10th, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. in the courtroom. And the Board of Construction Appeals will be January 11th, 2022 if needed. With that, I'm going to adjourn City Council meeting for December, and we look forward to seeing everyone in January 2022. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Could we not have a little sing-along or Jingle Bells or something?
We could.
Go right ahead.
Go
No one's
ahead,
gonna
Jerry.
stop you.
Well, no,
right
not
ahead.
everybody would join in with us.
No, your suggestion started. Go for it.
Jingle bells.
Yeah, boy, keep going.